Okay, let's see how long this will take. The trial. Part 2-1. And it could work like that. That's not important. What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Maybe the successor is the one who showed up on that trophy. The prosecutor trophy. King of prosecutors. Manfred von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks all so he could win. And he killed Edgeworth's father. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts? Who knows how many innocent people he got declared guilty? And now his successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. Shit! It's no good. Mr. Maya. Pearly! You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother was watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? Yep, I snuck out of the manor and followed a map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't... Oh my. It takes 2 hours by train. Oh man. Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? I give up. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. That's not saying a lot. Mr. Edgeworth? Who's that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. More than friends. Frenemy with benefits. I still remember him as though I've seen him only yesterday. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. Yep. That's... It was always back and forth with them, but when you're rivals for life... Maya! Please don't mention that name ever again. Oh, what? Did they break up or something between the two games? Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone. And he's not coming back. What? All right, he resigned. Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick? Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and defense prepared? There she is. What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. That's not... right? German. Raised in Germany. But... she seems more French to me, so... France. You must be a little shocked because I am a woman, correct? You know, I'm not good at accents, just no voice. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? Hold on. So she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? I am Franziska Von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Surely the legal systems in Germany and Japan, or Japanifornia, are very different, right? Like, I don't know what it's like in Germany. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma?
If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can.
Ow! I'm talking. Just straight up assault the judge. Also, how long is that whip? If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Yow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Okay, this is the voice now.
Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please.
Those of von Karma blood have only one fate. Going to jail. And that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor.
Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you run in for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Really? I was going for... I was assuming it was going to be the devil made me do it plea. This is a world with spirit mediums. Surely that defense is more acceptable in this court. Justified self-defense. That's the thing. Phoenix never really goes for any other pleas. A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. Phoenix never goes for any plea bargains. Maybe because he's that confident that he can get all his clients declared not guilty. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... the defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. Ah. Doesn't want that on Maya's conscience. How foolish. If that is how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. That's the voice. This is the voice now. She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Ah, best care. Witness, your name and occupation?
Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct.
Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder.
Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut.
Locked room mystery.
At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room.
What were they doing in there?
They were channeling a spirit, sir.
Channeling a spirit? That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor.
Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room.
And that's when they found the victim was already dead, correct?
I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over. One of the most open and shut, cut and dry, cock and ball cases I have ever presided over. So, how was the victim killed?
I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time, then. I feel like I'm giving all the femme fatale characters the same voice. It's not like I want to. It's just I'm not a voice actor, okay? I'm sorry, women.
I'm sorry, women. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing.
That's bad, because the stab would show that this was intentional murder, right? You don't
You don't stab someone and then shoot them point blank in self-defense.
So the victim was stabbed before being shot.
This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. After being stabbed in the chest, shot in the forehead point blank.
The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness.
Oh boy. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. Stabbed in the chest. Let me think. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Yeah, I still don't... Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot?
Yep, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal.
A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first? There we go. Think a little bit more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Okay, what a pain. Nothing sounds out of place so far. I should try to learn more about the murder weapons for now. So I'm not doing French or German, it's just vaguely European.
The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir.
The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it?
It was the victim's.
The victim? Now, why would he have...
Why would he have a pistol? Who cares?
No. The point is that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start.
Fingerprints? There are fingerprints? Along with the victims, the defendant, Maya Faye's, were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon?
I walked right into her hands there.
The shot was fired from point-blank range.
Point blank, huh? So about how far away is that?
It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away.
And how do you know you're shot at point blank?
Tisk, 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright. I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country.
Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Gunpowder exploding was what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead.
Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Why isn't the gun part of evidence? He was stabbed in the chest. Stabbed. And what was he stabbed with?
A fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? Looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course, my face fingerprints are all over it.
All over it, huh? Urk, this does not look good.
What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered.
I brought the two Werner weapons with me today. Oh, so that's how we get them as evidence.
Very well, the court accepts them into evidence.
The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time.
And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case.
Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slums that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there?
That is quite true, Mr. Wright.
Yes.
Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust to your plea, you stand to lose.
See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you would change your plea in less than 10 minutes.
What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance.
This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. Stick to your guns, buddy. If we plead justified self-defense, we'd basically be confessing to murder. Not murder, manslaughter. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. Oh, I can't let that happen. Your Honor.
Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright?
The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal.
Ah!
You. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Detective!
Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony, the final strike.
Yes, sir. Now see here, proceedings are run by...
Next time Phoenix has sex with Edgeworth, Edgeworth unbuttons his shirt and all like, sees all the whip marks and like, I see you've met my sister.
Oh, yes, of course. Do go ahead, detective, and give your testimony.
I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back.
So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a black spray of blood in this.
So even if I did argue self-defense, she would just shot that down. This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir.
I see. The court accepts this into evidence.
Blood splatters.
All right, Mr. Wright.
Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Well, at least she's not calling you Phoenix stupid. I guess she respects you, I guess. You will never replace Edgeworth as my rival. Woman. I'm sorry, women. I didn't mean it like that. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You're kinda scared today, you know, pal.
Come now, Mr. Wright. There is no need for that kind of attitude in my court. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that.
My friend's life is on the line, you dude. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? What is traditional American, kimono? Actually, I don't think it's a kimono. You know what I mean. No, you don't know what I mean. As you can see, it's covered in blood. There's blood on the costume. Lab results show that is the victim's blood.
So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes.
Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence?
Well...
If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on.
Yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct.
Now even the judge is on our side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Always keep pressing, buddy. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder.
Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it.
Looks like my time is up. So about the costume. One problem. Your Honor. Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence.
What?
What are you talking about, pal?
Where is this problem you were talking about?
I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. It's this hole. I ask the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume.
The sleeve? There is a tiny hole here.
A hole? But that wasn't in the report.
Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder.
Gunpowder? No one ever told me.
A hole that smells of gunpowder.
It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Haha, okay, that was pretty good. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole.
Order, order, order. This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record before anything else.
Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Salary cutting noises. Is she actually smiling? Because now she gets to cut his salary. What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke, nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight.
Well, I agree it's a matter on the part of the police. But Prosecutor Von Karma has said it's true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way! Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, sir. Okay, the defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. But the hole shows that maybe he was fighting back. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Detective. Yes? Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you policed overlooked supposed to mean?
What does it mean?
I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back?
You're right. It seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything.
Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. What is with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Miss Von Karma?
It seems that my affair was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea.
That is correct.
But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty.
Grr. Now that you... Why, that's right. Ah!
Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all.
No! Well, yes, that's true.
Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Your choices don't matter, bitch. Huh? How so?
Ah!
Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? That's your job, detective. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. During the channeling, the defendant saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Wait a minute. That's impossible.
The scenario you have put together does make sense.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily.
But please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please.
That's impossible because of the autopsy report. During the channeling, the defendant saw stabbed in chest and then shot point blank. You said he was too weak to move after being stabbed. Because they were too close. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward, I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Ah! Sorry. There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Curane channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Curane channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect.
About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony.
Last of his strength to fight back. Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gay bring a gun? Dr. Gay? Was he taking precautions against something? The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you could fly it just by pulling the trigger. Even me. I wonder. Phoenix with a gun. Ace Attorney 6. No, Ace Attorney 7. Phoenix has a gun. Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. You can feel it. Let's look at the court record. Let's see. Profiles, because you can also present profiles. Had a murder during a channeling, arrested on suspicion of murder by his older sister, died in a car accident. Shouldn't this also say deceased? Whatever. 18. She's 18. Deceased. Ah, my mentor and friend forever. Stab the victim in the chest. Let me save. I think would have been able to do that, would he? No, that didn't do it. Okay, while the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Victim shot him. I'm assuming it's the last sentence, because like always. Picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Two shots fired. No, it's not the folding screen. I'm just grasping at straws. I don't know what it's supposed to be. But hold on. Got his gun, took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant picked up on the opening and took the victim's gun. Took the victim's gun. That doesn't look like missing. I mean, it does. Small fruit knife. Took the victim's gun and ended it. Let's see. Defense attorney, circle clinic. The defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. But he was, like, weakened by that. Why can't I just... No. He was stabbed, so he wouldn't have the energy to fight back. But that's not in the autopsy report, it's not in... Wait a minute. No, that's... the opposite of what I want to prove. That would just make Maya look more guilty. I need to turn my thinking around. The victim used the last of his strength to fight back. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The defendant picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and entered. I just gotta prove that she didn't do that. No, that's... Come on, I got... Took the victim's gun and ended it. I mean, it could have something... Maybe I do have to present somebody's profile. But which one? Testimony makes us look bad. There's got to be a contradiction. But I pressed him on everything. Let's press him one more time. Quite a difference in the height. Channeling. Nurse's build. Stab wound didn't kill him. Then how could he have fought back? Have you heard what you say he was? Can you please add that to your testimony, buddy? He took out his gun. That doesn't gonna help me. Wait then. Already fighting. Ended it. Contradiction, contradiction, contradiction. During the channeling, the defendant saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. 1 year ago, the victim used the last of his strength. Okay, I'll have to look up some guides. I see now, it's the costume. It's the costume. But, like, the judge could smell gunpowder, but there wasn't that much gunpowder on it. Oh, brother. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Eh? What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume?
Gunpowder burn?
This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Oh!
But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume.
That is a very good point.
And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of the fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. He also wouldn't have had the strength to fire a gun.
Well, then...
That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took a shot. There, that should satisfy even you.
That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright?
I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. If my client is innocent, then there has to be a flaw in that claim. There was a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor.
Fatal? Flaw?
Yeah, Psycho Mantis. Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. When she was about to strike. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic.
What is that? A folding screen?
Oh, did I actually do it? I was just guessing. I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Always with the holes, Phoenix. It's always about the holes with you. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about.
Who? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please.
Are these two really that clueless? How are you a detective? How are you a judge? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, Maya, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. She was still channeling. Order! Order!
This changes everything.
Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. She was right here, in front of the... in the middle, right? Somewhere around here. Aw, shit. Fucking... Here. The defendant At this area? I don't get it. The defendant... It would make sense for the defendant to be here, right? Haha, that was a funny noise. Meow. This area? Unbelievable. God dang it. Where is it supposed to be? The defendant was there. Let me look where Maya was. Like, I don't know. Why wouldn't it be there? One sec, I gotta look at the crime scene. Like the picture of the thing. Okay, it's not showing up on recording, but I'm looking at a picture. The victim, he was in the center of the... He was in the center of that floor, which means that he went back. Maya would be here. She's supposed to be... She's supposed to be here. Am I just doing it wrong? God damn it. Just... I can't even be funny. I can't even be smart. I can't even win when I try. Just a second. Huh. Okay, that makes sense. She has to be here. Only way that the... She was standing here near the folding screen. Don't know why I didn't. Why didn't I think of that? Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based off the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However... there was nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You! I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? It changes everything, Your Honor. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. Oh, right, if she was that far away from the defendant while the If the defendant was that far away from the victim while the victim was holding the gun, then how could she have wrestled the gun out of the victim's hand? The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time?
Squatting all the way by the folding screen?
Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike?
Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason.
Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job.
Oof.
Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the Ah, fuck. Blast radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Yes, you see, it was I. Of all the things that to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Ah, she's gonna dock your pay again. Huh? How is it all my fault? You can start repairing your stand-in by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta. Gotta be Lotta. Gotta be Lotta is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Very well.
The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness.
What? No, this is still day 1 of the trial. I'm going through all of it. We're still in day 1 of the trial. Phew, that was a close one. I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. Oh, don't say that. I felt like I was pretty close to dying myself. They would not give the death penalty to an 18-year-old girl for a killing while being possessed by a ghost. That's just... Could you imagine the protests? But you were wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you. Thanks. Wait, tricked? That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? Yep. By the way, is the next witness who I think it is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of heart. Oh, guess there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sister's ghost will come after you and haunt you. Your sister? Are you talking about Mystic Mia? Yeah. Do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that. Also, they would not execute an 18-year-old girl. God, is this world secretly a dystopia where, like, even accidental manslaughter will get you the electric chair? I mean, like, there's no jury. All rulings are done by the judge. We live in a dictatorship. Supreme executive power derives from a mandate of the masses.
Court will now reconvene. Now, the first order of... Ow!
I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy.
Yes, sir.
Brennan's a photographer who witnessed the channeling. She didn't witness the channeling. She was outside. You fuck. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? Just fine. Sorry about this. Didn't exactly have a choice, you know. Yowza! Name and occupation. I declare... What in tarnation? Hey, Judge, this here is violence against my fair self. You know, she might actually be the smartest person in the room right now. That's fine. That's fine. That ain't fine. That's a whip. Yeah! There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. I haven't even gotten to say my name and job yet. And so instead of slamming her desk, she whips it. The name's Lotta Hart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify.
Now, let's all be one big happy family, okay?
No. Only the doctor and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door, and then bang! We hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant, waving a pistol around. I'll swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. But there could have been, because of the key. There were 2 keys.
And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place?
Reckon course. Excuse me? Reckon course. It's short for, you reckon? Of course I did. Ah! Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. The moment of truth, what will be in that picture? Let's see here. This here's the picture. Your Honor, if the prosecution keeps whipping me, I will refuse to testify.
Well, you do have the right to do that.
Gets whipped again. I'm out of here. Can I go? Sure, yes, you can. Prosecution, you don't have definitive evidence proving the defendant's guilt, and also we're holding you in contempt of court. But of course, that would never happen. In this world. Your Honor, my lawyer's badge. Let's see. This here's the picture. Damn.
It would certainly seem that only the defendant and the victim were in that room.
But the bullet hole. Lotta's photo added to the court record. Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I'll clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. God. Witnesses account. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. I don't have to press on that. I know it was we were waiting outside the door, and then bang! We hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room. So, let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down? Honestly, Mr. Phoenix, right? Why don't you tell us what happens then? Yes, Miss Von Karma. Yes, Mommy. I broke the door down. Sorry. Why does this feel like an inquisition? Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. No need for apologizing. That was great. You're a real man. Oh, you hear that? I'm a real man.
Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see.
Judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. And what did you see once you broke in? Inside was the defendant and the defendant. There was no one else in the room. But there could have been. Are you absolutely certain of that? Sure am, but that old witch chased us out of the room, so... Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fay? But there was no one else in there, and you know it. The channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Was there really no one else in there? What about... behind the folding screen? What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Wreck given. Huh? What in the... Wreck given. You know, you reckon? That's a given. These are not actual things that Southerners say. Took me a good look around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen.
If I may have a word with you, Miss Hart.
What? You got a problem?
Wreck given. I mean, I am having a little difficulty understanding you. If you would stop saying such things... Ah!
Now then, Mr. Phoenix, right? Don't you see a problem with the testimony, or don't you? Her story adds up. What's worse, I was there at the scene of the crime with her. And her story's exactly how I would have told it, too. Only the doctor and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. Was it really only those two that went in? What are you blabbering about? You was there too, were you not? I just need to get them to say something about the room being locked. Why don't you answer that yourself? Was it really just the two of them? Yes, Dr. Gray and I were the only two that went into the room.
Hold on, we can't have the defense testifying against its own client.
Well, gotta be honest. Anyway, folks, only the two of them went into the challenge chamber, you hear? But you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you? Witness continue. Outside the door, and then bang! Hear this gunshot. Was it really a gunshot? Are you insane? You must have heard it as well. Why don't you testify before the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was this really a gunshot? Yes, I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot.
And why are we here listening to the defense testify?
And the world becomes just a little crueler. I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know. And I tell you, that was a gunshot I heard. Now this is where the story hits up. Mr. Lawyer there broke, yeah, dead victim. Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lotta seems awful confident in her testimony. Lotta, please, think back to that day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room? I was murdered. Lotta, at a time like this, times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. But anyway, what's going on here? This gal, is she Maya? That's not Maya, that's someone disguised as Maya. And then when they left, they hid behind the folding screen and swapped out, knocked Maya on the noggin. When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya or not, am I correct? Because we never actually saw possessed Maya, with quotes, actually get unpossessed and turn back into regular Maya. We never saw that happen. Well, you see...
Order! Miss Hart, you are here to present accurate testimony.
Yeah, sorry. Good. This shifts things back to my side. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terrible. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered, one of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? Oh, here it comes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Maya that went in.
It looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey.
Exactly. Rats, and I'm trapped like one. Again. Yeah, just as I thought. There was nothing wrong with her testimony. I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth.
Enough. It seems that there are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony.
Objection. At the time of the crime, only two people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fey. Realize I'm gonna have to give the same voice to Claver, because he's also German. Hair, forehead.
The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant.
What am I gonna do? If I just let this go...
What is it, Mr. Wright? You look as if you have something to say.
If I make one wrong move, I'm going to have the judge against me. Is there anything I can present that would prove it's not Maya in that photo? Okay, hold on. First, let me save first. Your Honor.
Mr. Wright?
It is possible that the person in this photo is not the defendant.
What? Do you know what you are proposing?
Yeah. That's just plain fool's talk. Thanks, guys. Your show of support was just great. Hoo boy.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show the court some proof. Prove to this court that the person in this photo is not Maya Fey.
Let me... That's a funny death pose. Because... I'm gonna guess... a key? Come on. Damn it. Let's just see if this is the answer. Damn it, I lost! Didn't I? Phoenix, what? Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles, no matter how bad it gets. Mia! Oh my god, wait, this is actually... What?! I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say? But... pearls? Clothes are a bit small. I'm not even gonna near that. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go. But how? She's already taken away every advantage. The advantage is still in your hand. Think carefully, one more time, about what you saw in the challenge chamber. Do you remember what you told me yesterday? Dr. Gray! I was... murdered. What? Lotta, at a time like this? Times like this are the perfect time for snapping up shots. You see, there is one final piece to this puzzle. Mia? Question Lotta one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it unconsciously on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully.
Now then, this court would like to end the cross-examination period.
Please wait, Your Honor. The defense would like to request that the witness testify one more time.
Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. Wright. The cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore, anyone will...
It's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect, absolutely flawless. And what better time than this for you to see that? Your hubris will be your downfall, Franziska.
But, I mean, I have some place I must go after this. All right, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry and give us another testimony.
Well, heck, what am I supposed to talk about? Please tell us once more what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Okay, you got it. See, you got through to the judge somehow, right? That was Franziska. Being confident that there's no way she could lose. Well, actually, it was Von Karma's whip that got through to him. When a problem comes along, you must whip it. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. Nothing sounds different from before. Some parts of her testimony were very vague. I should press her on those sections. Struggle as you like as you taste the bitterness in your defeat. Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm betting. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. Then perhaps that body was not Dr. Gray's at all. Phoenix, what are you doing? Yeah? Well, I reckon that's possible. If the body inside that room was not that of Dr. Gray, then whose body was it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Well, what if it was that of Maya Fey after the channeling? Or maybe... Ow! Foolish fool spouting foolish foolishness, just as I expected it of a foolish fool such as you. If that was the case, then that would mean that Maya Fey is in fact dead. She could have been knocked out. And that would make the defendant's chair quite a lonely place, wouldn't it? Sorry, Maya. Are y'all done here? Can I continue? I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. 2, right? Oh, music stopped. We're getting somewhere. 2 what? 2 shots. You took 2 shots.
But only one has been submitted as evidence.
Miss Hart, where is the other picture you have been withholding? No, you got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know it can be a little me, but I ain't evil. Well, at least she knows herself.
Then why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet?
Well, ain't it obvious? That prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it. Knew it. What? Von Karma.
Miss Von Karma, you're hiding critical evidence.
Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this? You're as bad as your father. No, I'm gonna give her hell. My friend's life is on the line. If she gets executed from this, I will rain hell on this kangaroo court. Your Honor, the defense asks that Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court. Me, in contempt of court? I have nothing but contempt for this court. You can't be serious. You hid evidence from the court on purpose. That's not fair. Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a school child? Mia, your sister could be executed. I was so angry I lost my composure. Miss Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to this court? I thought this picture was not important, and so felt no need to submit it. That's all. Objection, Your Honor. That is bullshit. How could you think? The pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence. More trouble than it's worth? How can you say that? If you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it. Thank you. Body was moved. Body was moved. What is this picture? It's obviously the second picture the witness took that day at the scene of the crime. That would make a pretty cool album cover. Well, it's a little off-center, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur.
I think the important point here is the person in this picture. This is most definitely not Maya Fey. What is the meaning of this?
This might be the break I was looking for. Now, should I or should I not insist that the person in this picture is not Maya? I think I have a pretty good idea on what's going on. Mostly because of objection.lol. Insist that it's not Maya. Your Honor, as you can plainly see, the person in the picture is not Maya Fey.
Yes, I see that.
It's not just her face.
It's not just her face, her whole body is taking on a different appearance.
There's only one conclusion that can be drawn, then. That somehow this other person snuck in and traded places with the defendant. Unfortunately, Phoenix, you know that's not true.
Well, yes, I believe you are correct, Mr. Wright. The person who was inside the channeling chamber was not Maya Fey.
Mia, we did it. You're too soft. Huh? You're softer than Aunt Morgan's strawberry desserts, Phoenix. Take a look at Prosecutor Von Karma's face. Oh, shoot. She's smiling? I think you had better continue to worry, Mr. Phoenix, Wright?
Miss Von Karma, what do you mean by that?
Your Honor, I would like for you to take a look at this picture. Oh. Who took that picture? This was taken yesterday at the detention center's visiting room. This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant, Maya Fey, during his visit.
Maya Fey? But isn't this a totally different person?
Can't you just channel the spirit of Dr. Gray? She looks like this. She looks this way because she is obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit. Oh, brother.
It's unbelievable that she can.
Yet it is the truth. When Maya Fey is in that state, she physically changes to the person she's calling.
Wait a minute, was Pearl, like, at the defendant's stand the entire time, but, like, we just couldn't see her because she was so tiny? She was just underneath the desk, playing with Pokemon cards. Miss Von Karma, a word if I may. Mia? Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. Surely you must know that picture can't be submitted as evidence.
Obviously, I know this picture is illegal, but I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place.
What is she?
From the moment I showed this picture to the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind.
I don't have even a single witty line. Looks like we've been had.
I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying that this person is the defendant, Maya Fey?
No, I know it's not the defendant because of what Mia told me. If I give up here, the trial will end. But if I slip up and say something wrong, it will cost me. Is there any way I can prove that the person in this picture is not Maya? Yes, I can. Your Honor.
Oh, the fire has returned to your eyes, I see.
Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now.
Oh, a contradiction?
First, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to check the court record while I'm proving it, so let me, let's see here. Holding it in her left hand. Holding it in her left hand. Oh, and right hand. And he's in the same place, so that's not it. But maybe... Where's the bullet hole? There's no bullet hole in her sleeveys.
So, you think you've spotted a problem with this picture? Then earn your keep.
Right here. Please direct your attention here.
To the sleeve? But there isn't anything odd about it.
And that is exactly what is so odd. Something that should be there is suddenly missing.
Should be there.
There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well.
Miss Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence?
You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this. Oh, it's about time. Of course, considering this is the prosecution, that penalty will probably just be a pay cut. Alright, this is do some major damage to argument. Don't celebrate yet. You like to bring down the mood, don't you? Always bringing me up when I'm at my lowest and bringing me down when I'm at my highest. Keep him humble. Take a good look at Miss Von Karma's face. She's got that condescending grin plastered all over her face again. She slapped that look off. She slapped the smirk off of my face, but revealing a smaller smirk.
Jumping the gun again, I see, Your Honor. I would like to extend an apology on behalf of these incompetent fools.
What do you mean? What do you mean, incompetent fools?
If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. As I didn't, I could not have known that this picture was of any value to this case.
I see.
She's lying through her teeth, I know it. That woman knew about everything. The bullet hole, the picture, everything. But you can't prove that. Franziska... Okay, I believe that she can read my mind because she's dead. Franziska Von Karma's idea of a perfect quiz is quite fascinating, don't you think?
Your Honor, you need not worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure that detective gets what's coming.
Oh, poor Gumshoe.
I'm sure there will be a great gnashing of teeth at his next salary discussion. There he goes again. Salary cutting noises. Poor Gumshoe. That's what I'm saying. Is every prosecutor gonna do this? Is Claver gonna do it, sis? Is Godot gonna do it? Because he seems pretty cool. He seems like a cool guy.
In any case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none.
The judge is confused by this strange twist of events. This is your chance, Phoenix. Load all you got into this one shot, alright? Got it. Watch this, Maya. Your Honor, there is one logical explanation for the contradiction. The bullet hole was made later. The shooter is someone else. Mia's body was hidden somewhere else. Not body. She was unconscious during the murder. That's why she had a dream. The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it. However, this person clearly does not. There can only be one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether.
What?
Order! Order! Order!
If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial!
Ow! Why me?
The defense's argument is a complete mess.
A complete mess? I fail to see how. Please enlighten us.
A witness.
Ah! What the heck? Is that any way to ask a gal a favor?
Be quiet, you. You was the one who said it was the only two of them who entered the room.
Well, you know.
If you are lying, I swear that my whip will be the last thing you see.
Oh! Death threat. You can't hold her in contempt of court for that. Yeah, look, sis, you're mighty scaring me. You're looking mighty scary, so why don't we say you... Ah! I swear I wasn't lying or nothing. There wasn't anything else in there, honest.
You see, now riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
You deadass say riddle me this in a murder trial? She says, riddle me this, liberals. Why do they oven the oven? Why do they call it oven when you oven the cold food about honey food? Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from? Why is it lately all I want to do is cry? How do lawyers argue without crying? I'm a lawyer, and let me tell you, it gets like super close, dude.
Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant...
Actually, crying while you argue might actually help a defense lawyer's case in like certain situations. Like make everyone sympathize with both you and your client.
Now this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from?
That's right. Now hurry up and answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Come on, you can't fall apart here, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I can't believe that even Mia's calling me by my full name. But, I mean, how am I supposed to prove something like this? Had enough yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Or did you think you have enough in you to turn things around even now? To turn things around. Turnabout. That's right. Mia would always turn things around and change her perspective. Phoenix. So, where did this intruder appear from, and where did Maya disappear to? Can you find Swiper? I need to look at this situation from a different angle. Let's see. What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? Locked room mystery! And what if Maya had left that room somehow? If I could prove that either one of those conditions were true...
Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with.
I think what happened before we forced our way into the channel chamber is... Third person entered. Your Honor, I would like to present some evidence. The key. I have proof that there was someone else in the room before the murder took place. It's probably not the key. Yeah. Key's not important yet. No, fuck me! Fuck me, dude. Now I got a slot that I'm never gonna...
Hmm. Let me try something. I hate having extra save files, you know. Well, guess I can't delete it. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Third person entered it. You know what? Maybe I don't. It proves I'm a real lawyer. Maya had left the room. Uh-huh. It's like the Tumblr gif of that guy who whips his bed. Key. Oh my god, yes! Miss Hart, do you remember this key? Well, I've seen it. Hey, that's the channeling chamber key, right? Before the channeling started, Maya locked the door from inside with that. I'm saving. The defendant herself locked the door. Yeah, that's why we all couldn't get the door open. That key is the only one of its kind, after all. No, it isn't. There were 2 keys.
One of a kind, you say?
Wait, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes? It looks like she's catching on. I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession?
Huh? What do you mean?
If Maya Fey locked herself in, then the key should have been with her. I was right.
Yes, agreed.
However, she did not have the key at the time of her arrest. Ah, well, ain't that a kick? So how come you're holding it? I got this as a present from a certain little girl. Don't say that. A little guy. She's just a little guy. And that little guy was nowhere near the crime scene at the time.
That's preposterous.
This means that Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding this key you see before you. No!
It seems we have come to an impasse. This picture has clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Miss Von Karma, how can this be? At this point in time, a verdict is on the defendant's guilt is not possible. My perfect case. How is there a flaw in my perfect case? Don't think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am a prodigy. I have never lost a case.
First time for everything.
And I don't intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you.
That'll be your downfall, Von Karma, not being open to new experiences.
I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict.
Can we please get a different prosecutor, someone who's a bit less crazy? That's enough. If you'd like to continue, do so in the lobby.
Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Oh. Wow. That was you, Pearly? You summoned my sis? Yes, I felt I had no choice. Great going, Pearly. I knew you were special. Hey, Nick, did you know? Yeah. It's not like anyone else in there could have done that. I still think she was hiding under the desk. The attorney desk. Nick. I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room. Because you're unconscious. And I don't think that a third person could have gone into that room. Yeah. Well, at least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like, what happened in that room, for instance. Yeah, I'm counting on you. I envy the two of you. Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think you could take Pearly back home for me? Sure. Alright, Pearls, you ready to go buy some tickets? Huh? A ticket? Poor thing, so sheltered. Phoenix, Wright, what does fuck mean? I heard you say it a lot in the courtroom.